Good morning, dear students. How are you all? Hopefully, you are all happy and fine. Stay at home and prevent the spread of COVID 19. Ensure social distancing when you are going out. Always remember to wear your mask if you are going out. If it's an N95 mask, it's better. But if you are wearing other masks like surgical mask or cotton mask, ensure you wear a double mask, one surgical and one cloth or cotton mask. Now, you guys can see a plant on the other side of the video. See, the healthy leaves are green in color, and the old leaf, which is about to fall, has a yellow variation of color. You guys know that whenever the leaves get old and is ready to fall down, its color changes from green to yellow in most of the plants. In this chapter also, we'll come across such an incident where all the leaves started to fall down. They become yellow, they become old, or maybe due to the change in the weather conditions, they all started to fall down. But one leaf was so persistent that it was reluctant, or it was hesitant to fall. And seeing that leaf, one of the main characters who was actually battling with a disease decided that she'll not lose her hope and she gets better. So the green leaf actually serves as an inspiration for her to come out of the difficult situation in her life. So the name of our chapter that we are going to deal is The Last Leaf, and it's written by O.Henry. Before going on to the chapter, let's just have an idea about our author, O.Henry. O.Henry is a pseudonym of the writer William Sidney Potter. William Sidney Potter actually, in his tales, romanticized the ordinary life of people of the New York City. He had introduced characters which showed confidence, and this confidence was reflected by the usage of grim humor or irony. One more thing about O.Henry's stories or short stories is that the ending usually surprises us, and which became identified with his name as O.Henry Twist. Hopefully, you got an idea about our writer, O.Henry. His real name is William Sidney Potter. Now, moving on to the summary of the first and second paragraph. In first and second paragraph, first paragraph we'll see a lot is being told about the Greenwich Village. In Greenwich Village, all the artists come and stay. They love the bohemian lifestyle that is being followed over there. The buildings over there and the architecture is also being described. The buildings and apartments over there are very dirty and small, and it's also old, but it adds to the interest of the artists. They love to stay there. And so many artists are staying together, so it's a hub for the artist. Now, moving on to the second paragraph, we'll see two main characters are introduced in the second paragraph. They are Sue and Joanna. One is from Maine and the other one is from California. They actually have their studio in the New York City, and they have just moved on to New York City to earn a living from the city. Now we have seen the summary of first and second paragraph. Let's move on to the individual reading session, where you guys have to read this first and second paragraph individually and silently. While you are reading, if you come across some unfamiliar words, you can either note it down in your notebook or you can underline those words in your textbook. Okay, dear students, hopefully you have read those two paragraphs, and now I am going to divide you guys into different groups. For the ease of that, I'm going to say that your bench is your group and your bench mates are your group mates. Now, you can discuss the content of these two paragraphs, first and second paragraph, with your friends and get to know their viewpoint on these paragraphs. If they find some other difficult words or unfamiliar words, you can underline those words also. Okay, dear students, hopefully you all have read these two paragraphs and have discussed about it and also found some unfamiliar words in these paragraphs. So next is the vocabulary session where you'll get to know about the meaning of these unfamiliar words. The first word is bohemian. Bohemian means a socially unconventional person. It is most of the times referred to an artist. You might have seen some creative, really creative artists leading a different way of life, different kind of life. They search for inspiration. They don't follow the actually social norms set by the society. Creative people often tend to diverge from these kinds of social norms set by the society. So, that is bohemian. Now, the next word is apartment. Apartment basically means a flat. Earlier days, the term apartment was used for small buildings or small rooms that are actually used as hotels when you go for a vacation or holiday trips, etc. But nowadays, it is being used as a synonym of flat. Rather than saying that I have a flat, people now tend to say that I own an apartment. So, this word flat and apartment are used as synonyms nowadays. Now, the third word is Maine. M-A-I-N-E. Maine. Maine is a place in New England of United States. It's a state in the New England region of United States. So one of our characters is from Maine and the other character is from California. You must have seen that while you were reading that paragraph. That is the second paragraph. Hopefully, you guys got the meaning of these unfamiliar words and is ready to have the moral reading session. Listen carefully while I read. The Last Leaf by O.Henry. To Greenwich Village, many people came who were interested in art. They liked the bohemian life of the village and they enjoyed living among so many artists. The buildings and apartments were often very old and dirty. But this only added to the interest of the place. At the top of an old three-story brick house, Sue and Joanna had their studio. Johnsy was the familiar name for Joanna. One of them was from the state of Maine and the other from California. They had met in the restaurant of an 8th Street hotel. Both were artists who had recently come to New York to make their living. Now it's a time for loud reading by the pupil. You can read the portion loudly. One of the member from each group can come forward and read this portion loudly with proper stress and sound modulation. It's an essential step to ensure that you guys can actually read this correctly without making any mistake, and that too in a proper way. Okay, now that you guys have read the portion loudly, let's move on to the scaffolded reading. In scaffolded reading, I'm going to ask you a few questions so that I can ensure that if you guys are able to answer, you guys understood this portion. So, first question is, what is the real name of O.Henry? Or what is the name of our author, O.Henry? Yes, his real name is William Sidney Potter. The real name of our author, O.Henry, is William Sidney Potter. Hope you all got the correct answer. Now, moving on to the second question. The second question is, who are the two main characters introduced in the second paragraph? Who are the two main characters introduced in the second paragraph? Yes, Sue and Joanna are the two main characters introduced in the second paragraph. Sue and Joanna. Joanna is also known as Johnsy. Now, moving on to the structural item used in this paragraphs. Yes, it's conjunction. Conjunction are words linking with other words or phrases or clauses together. They are like linking words. What is the use of this conjunction? Conjunction can actually help you to create complex words or complex ideas or complex sentences, and it can help you to have that elegance in language. It can help you to avoid the choppiness of using short sentences or multiple short sentences. It's really difficult if you have too many short sentences, but you can use conjunction and join them together. For example, rather than saying I like cooking, I like eating, I can say I like cooking and eating. That's an example for conjunction. Now let us do a simple activity which is based on the structural item we just studied. The activity is very simple. You have to find the instances where structural item, that is conjunction, is used in these two paragraphs. You can go through those paragraphs and actually find out the where all conjunction and is being used. Okay, dear students, hopefully you have found out where the conjunction and is being used. I'll display the entire sentence here, but I'll be telling the exact instant or the place where the conjunction and is being used. So, buildings and apartments. I think you have seen that. Buildings and apartment. There the conjunction and is being used. Old and dirty. Old and dirty. Here also conjunction and is being used. And in the second paragraph, you can see Sue and Joanna. There also conjunction and is being used. Hopefully all got the correct answer. Now it's the time for a discourse activity. Discourse activity is a simple question. You guys already know the answer because you have read this paragraph. Now the question goes like this. What added to the interest of Greenwich Village? what added to the interest of Greenwich Village. Alright, now you can discuss the answer with your teammates. Everybody can write down their answer in the activity card provided. Now that you guys have written your answers or your team's answer in the activity card, you can exchange it with the neighboring team or the adjacent team members. So that if there is any kind of editing that needs to be done, it can be syntactic editing, thematic editing or morphological editing, then the other team members can help you guys with that. They will edit your answer if they find any such mistakes. Okay, now it's a time to present your answer in front of the class. So one member from each team can come forward and present their answer. This will actually eliminate your fear to present your version in front of the class, and it can actually help you to be more confident. So one person from each group can come forward and read their answer in front of the class, and if there is any mistake, we all can help you with that and correct that mistake. Okay, dear students, now that the presentation of answer by you guys are over, I'll present my version, that is the teacher's version. So let's start by saying what is basically there in Greenwich Village. Greenwich Village is actually the hub of artists. The architecture and the artistic buildings that are there, which are very old and dirty, yet it actually is of a place of great interest to artists. This old and dirty buildings or apartments actually gain more interest of the artist. Now, so this is actually something which is adding to the interest of the place or the Greenwich Village. And Sue and Joanna is also staying in Greenwich Village because they are also artists who just came to New York City to earn a living. Now it's the time to conclude our class. Before concluding, let us just summarize what we have studied. In the first two paragraphs, we have seen about Greenwich Village, its architectural style, how artists are leading a bohemian lifestyle in this place. That is one of the reasons why so many artists come and stay in Greenwich Village. The old and dirty buildings or apartments actually serve as an extra interesting factor for this artist. They actually like that. Now in the second paragraph, two main characters, Sue and Joanna, are being introduced. They are from Maine and California district of United States. They came here in Greenwich Village because they are both artists and want to earn a living in this place. Now, before we wind up, let's have a follow-up activity. Follow-up activity is very simple. I've told you in the beginning itself, O.Henry is a famous American short story writer. You have to read one of the short stories written by O.Henry and write a summary of it. They are very interesting stories. You guys will like it when you read them. So you guys have to read it, summarize it, and submit it in your next class. With that, I conclude, and I want to say once again, be safe, stay at home. If you're going out, wear your mask. Thank you guys. Bye. Take care.